The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was a place where silence carried more weight than sound. It was said that words spoken there could decide the destiny of countless worlds. Representatives from hundreds of civilizations gathered beneath the towering spires, each believing themselves to be enlightened, superior, and wise beyond measure. Yet that day, unease rippled through the chamber, for at its center stood a delegate from Earth, and his presence alone seemed to disturb the stillness of the air. He did not shout nor plead. His voice was calm, steady, but every word struck like a distant thunder. "We desire peace," he said slowly. "But if you push us, if you test us, if you try to take what is ours, you will regret it. Humanity will not kneel. Humanity will not break." A wave of murmurs swept through the council seats. Some laughed under their breath. Others exchanged knowing glances. A few shifted uneasily, haunted by memories of humans they had fought before, encounters that had not ended well. Yet most dismissed him. To them, humanity was young, impulsive, fragile, a primitive race daring to stand among ancient empires. The council speaker, a being older than most stars, leaned forward. Its skin shimmered like stone in starlight. "Human delegate," it said slowly, "do you speak as a threat to this galaxy?" The man shook his head. His tone remained level. "Not a threat, a warning. Leave us be." The echo of his words lingered in the vast chamber, followed by laughter, cold, mocking laughter from the proud rulers of the stars. They whispered to one another, calling humans melodramatic, foolish, childish. But in one corner of the room, several silent observers exchanged grim looks. They were among the few species that had fought humans firsthand, who had studied their history. They knew the pattern. Humanity suffered, humanity adapted, and when pushed too far, humanity struck back. But their quiet concern was drowned beneath arrogance. Reports of human colonies raided by alien pirates were dismissed. Pleas for justice buried under bureaucracy. When a group of empires proposed to discipline Earth for its insolence, the council turned a blind eye. Before leaving the chamber, the human delegate spoke once more. His gaze swept across the audience, cold and unwavering. "You think us weak," he said. "You think us small. But remember this, humans do not forget. Humans do not forgive. And when the day comes, when you finally understand what we are, it will be too late." No laughter followed this time. A strange chill lingered as he walked away. The council erupted into debate, some calling for war, others insisting humanity posed no real danger. In the end, they chose to ignore the warning. Beyond the stars, fleets began to move. Warships from mighty empires gathered at the edge of human space, certain of an easy victory. They spoke of conquest and glory, of teaching Earth its place. But a few remembered the humans' words and felt unease they could not explain. The first attacks came like whispers in the night. Alien armadas slipped into human territory, confident and unchallenged. They struck remote colonies, small worlds with little defense. On the planet Holstrom, fire rained from the heavens. Cities burned, fields turned to ash. Resistance was crushed within days. Survivors were paraded in chains as proof of the coalition's strength. "The frontier is ours," the victors proclaimed. The Galactic Council applauded. Delegates laughed, certain the human problem was solved. But in the reports that followed, something unsettled the few who paid attention. Even surrounded, outnumbered, hopeless, the humans of Holstrom had fought until the last breath. Soldiers, farmers, children, none surrendered. That kind of defiance was dangerous. Still, the coalition advanced. More colonies fell, and every time, humans resisted beyond reason. They sabotaged, improvised, fought to the last man. Alien commanders called them insane, unable to understand such persistence. Yet among their lower ranks, fear began to take root. Back in the council, the human delegate returned briefly. His face was colder than before. "You ignored our warning," he said quietly. "You brought this upon yourselves. Soon you'll see the truth." The chamber filled with laughter once again, though it sounded more forced than before. He said nothing more and left in silence, a silence that lingered longer than any speech. On Earth, the response was not chaos or surrender. It was preparation. Humanity went quiet. Borders closed. Fleets stopped moving. Communication faded. The galaxy mistook this silence for fear. In truth, it was something else: patience. The raids grew bolder. Coalition fleets pushed deeper, claiming new human worlds. Yet resistance became unpredictable. Colonies evacuated in perfect order, leaving behind minefields and traps. On the world of Lorien, an entire alien armada vanished in a single night. Rumors spread. The humans are planning something. Commanders laughed it off. Impossible, they said. A young race cannot challenge the great powers of the galaxy. But the galaxy misunderstood humanity. Strength was not their greatest weapon. Will was. The coalition celebrated victory after victory, toasting to their conquests. They promised their citizens that Earth would kneel before the year's end. Yet in the council, anxiety grew. What if humanity is waiting? Some whispered. They were right. In the shadows, humanity built. Entire worlds became foundries. Secret shipyards forged weapons unknown to any alien science. Earth sent no message, made no demand. It waited, and in that silence, a storm gathered. The galaxy thought humans had been broken, but silence was not surrender. It was the sound of blades being sharpened. Then, fleets began to vanish. Dozens of ships disappeared without trace. No distress calls, no survivors, just debris. Some melted, others sliced apart. The coalition called it propaganda. But soldiers who had fought humans before began to whisper, "They're coming." On Aridon, alien soldiers mocked human prisoners until a short human transmission cut through the sky. Remember this. Hours later, the occupation barracks exploded. No one ever discovered how. Panic spread quietly through the council. Some called for restraint. Others demanded more force. Pride drowned reason. The empires pressed on. But deep within human space, silence reigned heavy, deliberate, and full of intent. Massive shipyards burned through the void. Engineers forged new engines, armor that defied physics, and weapons meant to end wars. Humanity spoke no threats. The galaxy's arrogance blinded it. When the first great retaliation came, it was without warning. A coalition fleet of 50 ships entered a quiet system, boasting of another easy conquest. Then the shadows moved. From behind a moon, something vast emerged, a ship, black as night, its hull etched with rivers of glowing fire. It dwarfed everything in the fleet. Alien weapons struck first. Missiles, beams, plasma. The human warship didn't flinch. The attacks scattered like sparks on stone. Then came humanity's answer. A single volley of blinding energy tore through the void. Entire ships split apart, vaporized in seconds. 10 vessels were gone before the fleet could react. The rest tried to retreat. Too late. The galaxy's first true human warship had spoken. Across the stars, similar reports flooded in. Fleets lost without trace. Outposts destroyed. Human warships appearing from nowhere, annihilating targets, and vanishing again into the dark. The silence had ended, replaced by thunder. In the council, terror replaced arrogance. The delegates who had once laughed now whispered in fear. "Do not provoke us." They remembered too late. The coalition, refusing to admit defeat, assembled the largest armada in centuries. Hundreds of ships united under one banner, vowing to crush humanity once and for all. They entered human space, expecting battle. Instead, they found emptiness. No ships, no transmissions, only the quiet hum of the void. Then the trap was sprung. Hidden stations ignited. Cloaked fleets appeared from nowhere. Guided weapons streaked through the dark, cutting the armada apart before it could form ranks. Human ships, fast, silent, ruthless, moved like ghosts through fire. Within hours, the greatest fleet in galactic history was nothing but wreckage drifting in silence. The galaxy watched in horror. Humanity had destroyed the impossible. The myth of their weakness was shattered forever. But humanity did not stop. Coalition strongholds fell one after another. Border worlds burned. Planets surrendered before a single shot was fired. Humanity advanced calm, cold, relentless. On Hallstrom, where the first human blood was spilled, they returned. The enslaved were freed. The invaders were erased. Into the ruins, the message was carved. You were warned. The Galactic Council sat paralyzed. The same hall that had once echoed with laughter was now suffocatingly silent. Delegates begged for peace. Others whispered it was already too late. They were right. On Toran Prime, capital of a once great empire, the sky turned black as human ships appeared. Desperate messages begged for negotiation, surrender, anything. No answer came. When the bombardment began, it was surgical and merciless. Cities turned to ash. Armies armies vaporized. In 3 days, an empire that had lasted 10 millennia ceased to exist. Humanity pressed on. The coalition collapsed. Worlds that had mocked Earth now bent the knee. Those who fled carried only fear. For the first time, the galaxy saw humanity as it truly was, not fragile, not reckless, but born from struggle, tempered by fire, and unyielding in the face of extinction. At last, the council gathered again. Trembling voices called for peace. Promises were made. Treaties offered. A single human delegate returned to the center of the chamber. The same man, the same calm eyes, but this time the galaxy bowed in silence. "We warned you," he said. "We told you not to provoke us. You laughed. You called us weak. Now you see, humanity forgets nothing. Humanity forgives nothing." No one dared to speak. The man turned and left. The silence that followed felt endless. From that day on, no one dared challenge Earth again. Stories of the reckoning spread across the stars, tales whispered to children about the humans who came from a small blue world and brought empires to their knees. The galaxy had learned its lesson, carved into the fabric of history, written in fire across the void. Humanity returned to its quiet, not from fear, but from power. And the stars themselves seemed to whisper the same warning for all eternity. Do not provoke them.